Hello Year 1, I hope that you are all doing really well and had a lovely weekend. So well done to all of you that had a go at the maths quiz on Friday. Today we are starting a new unit about fractions, so the knowledge organiser is on the school website so that you can see what we will be learning about over the next week. We are starting with how to find half of a shape. So before we start our learning, please can you write the short date 18/05/2020 and the LI to find half of a shape. Pause the video to complete this. Now we'll quickly do a recap. So there are something groups of something fish. If one of these red buckets fills 3 blue small buckets, how many blue buckets can I fill with 2 big red buckets? Now that's a bit tricky. The flower is something cubes tall, and what is 20 take away 2? Pause the video to complete these recap activities. And the answers are, there are 5 groups of 2 fish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, and each bowl has 2 fish. Well done if you got that correct. I can fill 6 blue buckets with 2 red buckets. Well done if you got that correct, because that was really hard. The flower is 5 cubes tall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what is 20 take away 2? It is 18. Well done if you got that correct. Now, pause the video to tell your adult if you think you know what fractions are and what is a half. The answers are, a fraction shows part of a whole. We can split objects, pictures and amounts into parts, and the fraction shows how many parts we have. That sounds a bit complicated, but we'll go on to it in a minute. What is a half? A half is when you split an object or amount into 2 equal parts. Now remember, equal means the same. That's really important for today's lesson. Equal means the same. Timmy wants to give his friend some apple, but he only has 1 apple. How can he share 1 apple equally? Now, if we were at school and we only had 1 between 2 people, we could split it in half, cut it down the middle. He can split the apple into 2 equal parts, 1 part for Timmy and 1 part for his friend. And if we cut it in the middle, that makes it equal. Timmy has 2 equal parts. Now Timmy wants to split his cookie in half. Has he split it in half? Now we have it's not in the middle, it's only down the side this time. How do you know that he split it in half or not? And if you think that he hasn't split it in half, how should he have split it? Pause the video to complete this. So Timmy hadn't cut the cookie in half because, if we go back, one part is a lot smaller than the other. They're not equal. So we do have 2 parts, but they are not 2 equal parts. So it is not in half. When we are cutting something in half, we need to have 2 equal parts. So each side needs to be the same. Timmy needs to have 2 equal parts to split his cookie in half. Objects can be split in different ways, but still show a half. So these cookies are both showing different ways of how to cut the cookie in half. So even though they are cut differently, so one's like this way and one is this way, they are still showing half of a cookie because they are the same on each side. The parts are equal. Have half of these objects been shaded? Pause the video to check. So this one has been shaded in half because 2 circles are shaded and 2 are not shaded, so it is equal. This rectangle has been shaded in half. There are 2 equal parts and one side has been shaded. Now, has this pentagon been shaded in half? No, it hasn't, because the 2 parts are not equal. Now here is your activity. So everybody, you are completing all of the activities today. Which cake is cut in half? Draw a line to split each shape in half. Colour half of each rectangle. Tick the shapes that have been cut in half. And here is the extension activity. Show one half in 3 different ways. Match the halves to make a whole. Remember to send all of your work to the Year 1 email address and have a nice day.